Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about a Kydex holster that's made by a fellow YouTuber that goes by the handle ArmedCivilian556. The holster is called the Cx2, which I'm holding here in my hand. The Cx2 is a Kydex holster that's made out of 0.08 or 0.06 inch thick material that's available in a number of different colors and configurations, and for a number of different handguns. This particular holster, the one I'm holding here, has a fake carbon fiber outer shell with a standard black Kydex back panel. The Cx2 carries the pistol at a slight angle forward. You can see it has about a 10-degree cant, has two belt loops, and of course the rivets that hold the two panels together. The holster is very well made. It locks the pistol in nice and tight. It's not too tight, but it snaps in with a lot of authority. The handgun is secure in the holster. It's not going to come out. And it carries very nicely in terms of how it contours to your body. If you take a look at the contour of the holster, you can see how it wraps around the hip of the carrier or the person carrying it. The Kydex is fairly thick. The .08, which I have here, you can see I can barely squeeze it, but I do have a first generation holster that has the .06 material, and as I squeeze it, you can see I can close that material fairly easily. Both of these materials are still available. The first generation holster is no longer available, and they did change some things between the first generation and the second generation holsters. Here's my first generation. I put my Glock in it. You'll notice it has a slightly more pronounced rake forward. It doesn't cover the muzzle of the Glock 19, and it doesn't quite cover the trigger guard completely. With the second generation holster, you'll notice that it does cover the muzzle better, although the crown does stick out just a little bit, and it completely covers the trigger guard. Now, these holsters are available in a number of different colors. You can pick them up in black like I have here, green, flat dark earth, pink, whatever really tickles your fancy. You can order them and expect to receive one in about 7 days if it's a holster that he has a mold for or doesn't require any customization. If you do any customization, you can look at about a 10-day turnaround time from the time you submit payment until you receive your holster in the mail. Now, he does just do business on YouTube, and you can only contact him via his email address. But Armed Civilian tells me that he's working on a website address, and he should have that available soon. I'll post that link on my Facebook page once he has that website up and running. There's a number of reasons why I like Kydex. First of all, Kydex carries nicely. It doesn't, like leather, absorb moisture from your body or salt or anything like that. Kydex is a neutral material. Some folks think that Kydex actually mars the finish of the handgun. I haven't really had a problem with my Glocks, and that's what I primarily carry. Leather isn't perfect. Here's a leather holster, an old leather holster for a Glock 19 that I've had for several years. You'll notice one of the things about leather is that when the leather starts to wear, the handgun can just simply drop right out of the holster. Also, like I said earlier, it holds moisture against the weapon. Leather looks nice, but in my opinion, it's not as desirable in a carry holster as Kydex is. Now, the nice thing about this holster, as well as it works with a Glock 19 and a Glock 17, let me take my 19 out and stick my 17 in. You'll notice that the 17 fits the holster fine. It does protrude just a little bit from the end, but of course it covers the trigger guard and everything else just like it does on the 19. So you have a few options there if you carry Glocks and M&Ps as well. You have the 9C or just the standard M&P. Both of those, you know, if you've got a holster like this, you could carry either one in the holster if you got it for the 9C. The holsters range in price from anywhere from $50 up to about $75 depending on how you configure the holster. Now, the holsters I have here would be in the $70 range. Again, you can choose between the colors and things like that or the thickness. Let me show you what the thicknesses look like. Here in this hand I have the .06, and here in this hand I have the .08. If you go with the .08, it'll cost just a little bit more. I would expect to pay around $70 on average for one of these holsters. Overall, the quality of the holsters is very high. ArmedCivilian556 tells me that of the 520 holsters that he's sold, 519 people rate them a 10 out of a 10. Now, I can't confirm that, but I have no reason to disbelieve it. I do know that these holsters, based upon my experience with them, are high-quality holsters. I also know that other reviewers of firearms out there on YouTube have received these holsters and have reviewed them and also given them high marks. So overall, I think if you're in the market for a good concealment holster, this would be a good way to go. Now, this is an outside the waistband holster. It's not designed to be carried inside the waistband. I carry this when I decide to go outside the waistband, but when I go inside the waistband, I'm using my Ravens. If you're carrying outside the waistband, you want to be conscious of or aware of the fact that you may print a little bit more than you would if you're carrying inside the waistband. I found that with the Cx2, I wear a large size t-shirt. If I go with an extra large size shirt, I can carry this Glock 19 fairly well, and it barely prints. Just a little bit. If I bend over just right, you can see the butt of the pistol. Now, I know in some states that can be a concern. If you print and somebody reports you as having a handgun, you might actually lose your license. That's not the case in my state, so printing isn't that much of a concern. So I often carry outside the waistband, not being too concerned with if I'm printing or not. But if I do want to go deep concealment, I can still wear this outside the waistband holster because it contours nicely to the body, but I can wear a cover garment that's intended to hide the pistol better. A loose cut button-down shirt, for example, over a t-shirt would be an example of a cover garment that I could use that would hide this effectively. Also a light jacket or a heavy winter coat, obviously. Now, overall, as I said, I think the quality of these holsters is high and I do recommend them. I like these holsters quite a bit and I carry one myself. If you guys have any questions about ordering one of these, you can reach ArmedCivilian556 at the email address below. I'll put a link to his email address in the description as well and to his YouTube channel. If you have any questions about this holster, you can ask those questions on our Facebook page. You can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/militaryarms. As always, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for those subs, and we'll talk to you guys soon.